So next step in the video sequence is going to be um, like using oils and polishes on your guitar. This step is not nearly as necessary as changing your strings and checking to make sure that all your hardware is nice and tight and sturdy. However, it is something that's still very good for your guitar. So one thing that is important, in my opinion, is the fretboard oiling, because if you allow your fretboard to get too dry, or actually conversely too oily, either or, you want to kind of keep, you know, things level. Um, you can find your frets will actually get pinched out of the wood, right? And we want our frets to stay nice in the wood, nice and tight how they're supposed to. So this is still while I have my dirty old strings on here, so I don't mind oil getting all over them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the oil, a couple drops onto the fretboard, and I'm going to take actually an old toothbrush of mine, right? There's nothing around your house that you can't reuse, right? So taking an old toothbrush I don't use anymore, and I'm going to just start to spread it around my fretboard. Once my whole fretboard looks wet and oily, then I don't have to keep pushing it around anymore. And then I want to wait for a few seconds to kind of let the driest areas reabsorb some of that oil. You'll see some spots where you'll actually see the oil kind of dive into some spots of the wood that are very, very dry. And that's how you know that your fretboard actually did need an oiling. This fretboard actually has not been oiled in quite a while, so I'm seeing some areas where the oil is diving in, so I'm keep trying to kind of push the oil around to keep getting them into these extra dry spots. Once you've gotten the oil all over the fretboard, then you can go ahead and wipe it off with, any old towel. You don't have to have a super nice towel for this one. I'm simply using an old bathroom towel that we no longer use. And I'm going to just feed it underneath my strings. You can see it now, it's underneath the strings. And now I can take now my fretboard's been oiled. You don't necessarily need to oil your fretboard every single time you change strings, but I would say at least once a year, maybe twice a year, be oiling your fretboard because it's something that's good for the wood, keeps it healthy. This wood is not finished in the same way as the rest of your body is. Your body has a sealing finish over it, whereas your fretboard will have, at most like some kind of oil finish where there's a decent amount of breathability of the wood, so you want to keep it oiled. Next, we're going to be looking at a different guitar for the body finish. Next, we're going to be looking at this guitar, and we're going to be doing a polish on both the headstock and on the body of the guitar. There are 3 items that you can, and that I have a history of using on guitars for kind of polishing up their finish, and I'm holding all 3 of them so that way you guys can see. So we have a Dunlop, just kind of like standard polish. We have a Dunlop polish with a wax in it. That one's nice. And then lastly, we still have the fretboard oil, which is also a decent kind of polisher, cleaning up, especially if it's something you need to scrub. This will be really good. I more recently, however, have not been using this because it doesn't completely wipe away. Even when you wipe it off with the towel, a little bit of oil will stay on the surface of your guitar. And I'm finding that a lot of people just don't like that look of kind of like quickly getting finger marks. Obviously, you can wipe them off super fast because it's just a little bit of oil. However, a lot of people kind of like that really lustrous look of a like a regular polish. So this one I don't really like that much It it's very electronic safe though. If you were to spray this on your electronics, it'll evaporate and it won't do any damage to your electronics. You probably want to be a little more careful with the wax base of getting it down inside of your electronics. You don't really want to get it there. But I really like the way the wax fills in a lot of the tiny little scratches on your finish of your guitar, and so this will make your guitar look brand new because it's filling in those cracks, and you're not really seeing the damage that's there. So this will really make your guitar look really nice. Doesn't take a lot for this. I'm going to just do one spray on the headstock. Actually, I'm not even going to spray the headstock. I'm going to avoid putting this on the strings. Instead, I'm going to spray down here and use the leftovers on my towel to wipe off my headstock. So here we go. It's the wax finish, or wax polish. I did 4 sprays. Next, I'm grabbing a microfiber towel. These are not expensive. You know where to go get them. I got a huge pack of them at Home Depot for like $5. If you go and you try to buy these from a guitar store, it's gonna be like $10 for one. So just go to Home Depot. If there are any particles or buildup of grime, you're gonna want to really scrub them out. If you really need to, you can do another spray in the location and work to scrub it out. Sometimes, if you really need to, you can even use a little bit of spit. I know it might not sound super effective, but actually your spit does have enzymes in them that can break down starches, and they will help break down really heavy grime on the outside of your guitar. Obviously, you don't want to leave the spit on your guitar. You want to wipe it off after you've gotten off whatever it was. I'm now using the wet portion on the headstock, and I'm feeding the towel into all the little areas between the strings. After that, if you want to, I don't really find it's very important, but you can also put a finish, or not a finish, a polish on your back of your neck. Sometimes it will build up a decent amount of grime if it's a well-played instrument, because that's where a lot of the sweat is going to stay and then dry, and so it'll start looking kind of black. And so you can wipe that off. If it is super black, you're going to need a heftier cleaning product than either of these if like you really got to scrub it out. But you do want to get a cleaning product that will still be nice to any finishes. You don't want to be taking off your finish on your guitar. Once you've finished that, you're now done polishing your guitar, and it should look shiny and brand new, like you just got it from the store.